for, 9 earned runs over just 4 innings? I wasn't. Even me. The biggest Zach Gallen supporter there probably is. The writing's been on the wall all season. He has not been an MLB caliber pitcher. But unfortunately, with all of the injuries that have been stacking up for this team in the rotation, they've had no other choice but to hope that he can figure it out at the big league level and go back to being a version of himself that helps the Diamondbacks win. They called up Cole Drake yesterday because they needed an arm in the bullpen. Cole Drake isn't the starter that you call up if you need reinforcements. Mitch Bratt's the guy that you call up. Cole Drake's pitching like a 7.5, 8 ERA down in Reno. But that just shows you the options aren't there. And again, I don't want to do the segment before the segment because I do want to talk about this a little bit later on. But for those of you who listen to this show on a regular basis, you know we talked about this last week, maybe the week before. They don't have options. With Corbin Burnes getting set back a little bit, we told you they don't have a lot of options. They have 2. It's Mitch Bratt, who at the time was still on the injured list down in Reno, and it was Brendan Pfaadt, who they hadn't stretched out yet and still haven't stretched out yet. So it's just a mess. It is a complete mess that you wake up every day and you look at the Diamondbacks and you wonder, are they going to get the starting pitching tonight? And you ask that question about everybody but one starter. Eduardo Rodriguez is the only starter where you feel good about the team's chances. That's not saying that Merrill Kelly can't be a reliable starting pitcher. It's just that he hasn't been this season. And so when you're asking that question of this team, basically every single night, it shouldn't surprise anybody that they drop a series like they did over the weekend to the Minnesota Twins. It shouldn't surprise anybody that they sit here at 39 and 38. You got to have pitching. You got to have reliable, consistent starting pitching. You don't have to have amazing starting pitching. You don't have to have 5 aces, 5 Cy Young candidates. Would be great to have. Would give you an advantage over a lot of teams, but you don't need it. You just need reliable, consistent starting pitching. With this bullpen and the talent that this team has offensively, 5 consistent, reliable starters would have this team in a much better place than where they sit right now. But unfortunately, they didn't have that. And again, that doesn't even include one of your better starters this season in Mike Soroka getting hurt on Friday, further making the problem worse because you don't have depth options to turn to try to solve this. And we said, hey, a starting pitcher should be a priority at the deadline. You need 3 starters right now. You're not doing that. And so unfortunately, I think this weekend may be the start of the slide for this team because I just don't know where the answers are going to come from. Is Jose Cabrera all of a sudden going to be a reliable starter? Maybe. He looked good yesterday. But don't come after me if I want to see a little bit more before I say a rookie is going to save this rotation. So just a really bad weekend for this team.
Yeah, it was a really, really bad weekend. Like there is no sugarcoating it. It was a weekend where you had one of your best pitchers get hurt. You lost 2 of 3 to a team that shouldn't have taken 2 of 3 from you, especially on the road. And you're looking up at the standings still in the National League, and you feel farther than ever. I really know, there's just no sugarcoating it. It's one of those weekends that certainly doesn't make you give up on the team because you know what they've done before, but it does take the wind out of your sails.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it that this weekend just puts a damper on everything. Because, again, you're asking every single day when Eduardo Rodriguez isn't pitching, do the Diamondbacks have a starter that can give them a chance?
And I get it. I know you're 1 game out, but you have, Pirates just a half game behind you. The Nationals a half game ahead of you. The Miami Marlins ahead of you. The Padres ahead of you. The Cubs ahead of you. You're not the first team out. You're the 4th. You have 5 teams fighting for 1 spot. You're at the bottom of the pack.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll talk about it a little bit later on about whether or not this team can weather the injury storm because I mean, it's a laundry list at this point, the names that are on the injured list for this team. So a bad weekend. They're back at it again tonight. It is a 4-game series in St. Louis against the Cardinals. Merrill Kelly goes in the first game of this series with Erod going tomorrow. So we'll get you ready for that as the show moves along. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here on the program. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, a pair of signings that made it clear what the Suns' priorities are. That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert.
While Brissett will be in attendance, it's uncertain how much on-field work he will do. So my read of that is it went from a holdout and it will now become a hold-in. To be honest, him being there and not doing anything is almost more of a distraction. We've seen this. This is the new way players go about getting their contractual demands filled. They don't hold out and not show up, but you're starting to see more players be hold-ins.
Live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. September 15th, Mortgage Matchup Center. The lights go down one final time. Tickets are on sale now at journeymusic.com. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
Get your to-do list ready. The Home Depot just opened a new store in Buckeye, Arizona. So whether you're making simple upgrades or full-on renovations, the Home Depot has you covered with great prices on tools, materials, rentals, and more. Plus, order online or with the Home Depot app, and you can get it all delivered to your door fast and free. Visit us at 20410 West Roosevelt Street in Buckeye and start your project today with the Home Depot.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a diamond sourcing expert, I'll tell you just how differently we source our diamonds so your engagement ring can be the most beautiful. We work directly with our diamond partners who reserve the best stones just for us. We handpick and inspect each diamond, then negotiate the best price. At Shane Company, we believe this is the only way to properly buy a diamond, because a friend goes the extra mile to make sure you get your dream diamond at your dream price. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Listen, the last thing I want to do is give this guy what he wants, attention, especially when there's so many other more interesting things going on in sports right now. But you just know that Galaxy LeBron still fully believes that every other planet orbits about him. All right, I'll play along. In fact, being based in Southern California, it's sort of my job to play along. So what is LeBron going to do? I'm not sure, but I am sure of this. He's going to play another year. And it's not even about how well he played last year or how much he loves the competition and the grind. He loves the guy. He loves himself. And there's no way this dude is walking off without a season-long tribute to and a party for himself. So best be sure he will be back. And it says here, he's not going anywhere. LA makes too much sense, and all those other potential suitors don't make enough sense. Although I hate myself for doing it, there's your shine, LeBron. You're welcome. I'm Jim Rome.
When the moments in your life are too important to miss, you can trust O'Reilly Auto Parts to keep you and your plans on the road. Our professional parts people can test your vehicle's battery and even give it a charge if needed. In most cases, we can install your new battery for free. It's just one of the many services we provide at O'Reilly Auto Parts to ensure life's best moments don't find you stranded.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. The U.S. Treasury just released its official financial report for 2025. Buried in it is a startling admission. By its own numbers, it appears the U.S. government is insolvent. When governments go this deep in debt, they print money, raise taxes, or cut benefits, none of which can help protect you. That's why people move part of their savings into physical gold and silver. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Did you have a problem with how the fans were treating Wyndham Clark on Sunday?
Look, I know he's had some ugly behavior before, but still, you're watching him perform at an unbelievably high level. You could tell early that crowd came out there rooting for Scotty to complete the Grand Slam and probably didn't view Wyndham Clark as somebody they wanted to root for. You don't have to root for him, but rooting against in a U.S. Open, thought it was kind of embarrassing.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060, Chris Schubert, producer Evan on the other side of the glass.
The alignment.
Boy, busy weekend for Suns GM Brian Gregory.
This has been quite the saga.
Yes, it was. A pair of signings over the weekend for the Phoenix Suns. I think we go in chronological order, producer Evan.
Let's do it.
We start with Collin Gillespie getting himself a 4-year, $48 million deal. He will return to the Phoenix Suns. Just doing some quick math. I don't need the trademark calculator for this. 48 divided by 4, an average of $12 million a season. Some reports out there that the first year of the deal will be, I think, $10.7 million. So not exactly the $12 million per year. It'll start at $10.7, and it'll escalate. Can I tell you what my immediate takeaway was when I saw the deal?
Yeah, of course.
4 years. Lining up very nicely with that 2030 offseason.
That was mine.
That John Voida, put in a tweet, what was it, a couple of months ago now, that we've given him credit for it, but that tweet is now kind of
really starting to take its own run.
It's a framework that now I just view everything through. Of like, okay, yeah, that's when Booker's contract expires. That's when they have control of their picks. That's when the waive and stretch money for Bradley Beal comes off the books. And John in his tweet pointed out that all three of those things, the Booker contract, the first-round picks, and the money, all converge in 2030. And so the Suns may want to be careful with what they do. This kind of fits that. So that was takeaway number one. 4-year deal lines up with that timeline. Thing number two is, and I think this is where we have to bring in that Jordan Goodwin signed the next day on a 3-year, $19 million deal, is, boy, the Suns told us what they were going to do, and they've done it again. Because they have prioritized bringing back two of their own. They are now over the luxury tax. They are very close to going past that first apron. And if they bring back Mark Williams, that will take them over the first apron. So they are very committed, it appears, to this idea of continuity. Giving $12 million a season to Collin Gillespie, bringing back Jordan Goodwin on a 3-year deal. They feel very comfortable with the group that they have. They feel, this is what they're telling you. Brian Gregory is telling you, based on giving Gillespie a 4-year deal, giving Jordan Goodwin a 3-year deal, what they are telling you, what the Phoenix Suns are telling you today, we believe there's more in this group. We believe this group has a higher ceiling than 45 wins and a play-in team. We believe this group is currently constructed with a full year of Jalen Green, with developments from young players like Kaman Malawach and Rasheer Fleming. We believe there is more in this group. Now, I don't know if they're right. I don't know if this group can do more, significantly more than 45 games and a play-in tournament team. But the Suns are telling you they think there's more. They're telling you that when they sat down at the end of the season, when Matt Ishbia and Brian Gregory and Jordan Ott and the coaching staff and the front office had a meeting, which I'm sure they did, and they mapped out what they wanted this offseason to look like, They clearly came to the conclusion, we think this group can do more. We think with another year in this system, with some health luck going their way, that 45 wins is not the ceiling for this team. It's closer to the floor or the midpoint for this team. That's what they're telling you. Now, I'm a little suspicious of that. I don't know how much more you're going to be able to do defensively with this group. I don't know if you have the right partners around Devin Booker to maximize what this team can do offensively. But they're telling you they think there's more in this group, that they think they're on the right track. And how can you blame them for thinking that? After they win 45 games, after they are the surprise in the Western Conference. And by the way, do you know what today is? Today is the 1-year anniversary of the Kevin Durant trade. Today, the 1-year anniversary of the Suns making that deal with the Rockets to get Dillon Brooks, to get Jalen Green, to get the 10th overall pick that turned into Kaman Malawach. And you know what? A year later, you feel like, man, the Suns did pretty good there. Rockets didn't win a championship. Rockets didn't go far in the Western Conference, whereas the Suns were kind of one of the darlings of the Western Conference. You would say, comparing the two teams, the Suns had a better season than the Rockets did. You would say the Suns left their fans feeling good despite getting swept in the first round by Oklahoma City than the Rockets left their fans. And so with that as the backdrop, you kind of just have to trust the powers that be. You have to trust Brian Gregory, that they think that there is more in this group and that Jordan Ott is the coach that can get more out of this group. I'm suspicious. I'm not sure there's a lot more than, and maybe they can win 47 games or 48 games. Maybe they can get to that 6 seed. But to me, that's really the ceiling for this team. Now, maybe they'll surprise me. They surprised me last year, even though we were two of the people who thought this team could be better than a lot of people thought. I just don't know how much more there is in there. I understand, because of your limitations, staying the course and bringing these guys back and continuity, I understand why that is the philosophy, and I don't necessarily disagree with it, but I just don't know how much more this team's going to be able to give you other than running it back next year and looking like a similar team, winning a similar amount of games, and being in a similar spot come the postseason. I don't know what more they're going to be able to give. Does this feel like a 50-win basketball team? Does this feel like a 55-win basketball team?
No. And I like I said, like, there is at some point a limit to how far they can go, if you ask me. Because without pushing the envelope, they won't catch San Antonio. They won't catch Oklahoma City. And, yeah, you might, because of injuries and those things will be great. But you're talking about you're going to need 3 to 4, maybe 5 things to break your way to be a real championship contender?
No, I don't think that's what they're trying to do next season. But I do hear what you're saying is that this group, as currently constructed, is not good enough to win an NBA championship. I just don't believe that. I believe they're a star short, at least, in that department. But this idea that we're going to bring everybody back, right? Because Mark Williams feels like he's next. And we'll talk more about this in hour number 2 of the program because we're on the eve of the NBA draft, right? Tomorrow night, night 1 of the NBA draft, we'll finally get to see if the Suns will be able to wiggle their way into the first round, as has been reported over the last couple of days. But let's look at the standings from last year, right? Oklahoma City, 64 wins. San Antonio, 62 wins. The Nuggets, 54 wins. The Lakers, 53 wins. The Rockets, 52 wins. Timberwolves, 49 wins. Suns won 45 games. Are they a 50-win basketball team? Because Oklahoma City and San Antonio aren't going anywhere in terms of regular season success.
No.
The Lakers, I don't think, are going anywhere in terms of regular season success. Denver is going to be a good regular season team. Same with Houston. Minnesota's still going to be good. I just don't know how much better you can be. And again, I like bringing Collin Gillespie back. I like bringing Jordan Goodwin back. I like this idea of these are the guys that were pivotal pieces to the rebuilding of this culture, pivotal pieces to the success that your team was able to have. I understand why you want to bring them back. I just don't know if I can get on board with this idea that there's more in the tank, because that's what I think the Suns are saying. I think they're saying we can run this group back entirely, and this group can do more. I just don't know how much more there is.
Yeah, like how much do I actually believe that? I don't know.
Can you run this team back, get some injury luck to go your way, and win 53 games like the Lakers did last year? Can you do that? Can you win 8 more games and be a top 4 seed in the Western Conference? Because to me, by bringing everybody back, isn't that what you're saying? That we think there's enough in this group to close that gap?
Theoretically, yes, that's what you're saying. I don't know if I believe it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I believe that. Now, we'll see. Will they bring Mark Williams back? Certainly feels like that's what they're going to do. Again, they told us continuity, right? Immediately. Collin Gillespie, re-signed before the draft. Jordan Goodwin, re-signed before the draft. Not even messing around with those guys. Contracts done, bringing them back. And again, I think good business. I don't think $12 million a season for Collin Gillespie is an overpay. No. I don't think Jordan Goodwin, a little north of $6 million a season, is an overpay. These are 2 really good players that helped you, that are really good bench pieces that teams have to have. So I don't want to diminish these 2 guys. They're important. I like that they're back. I think this was good business by Brian Gregory. I think this is fair value. These are good contracts to have on your books. But looking at they're already over the tax. With Mark Williams, they will go over the first apron. We know they are not going to go over that second apron. What else is there to do other than just run it back? And if you're running it back, you're saying, because this is the only way I think fans are going to be on board with this, we can be better. We can actually be better with this group than 45 and 37. And maybe they're right. Maybe Brian Gregory's right. Maybe Jordan Ott is right. But I'll believe it when I see it. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Michael over there says, still believe Grayson and O'Neal need to go. Get a big wing player. We'll see. We'll see if they make those moves, and that's where they make changes to this roster. That's always felt like the easiest way to do it. It always felt like Gillespie and Goodwin would be coming back and Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal would go. And so that's still a possibility. That's still on the table. But we'll see if Brian Gregory has any magic he can put together here over the rest of the summer. When we come back, is there already one potential suitor out for Brendan Sorsby? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
You've heard me talk about Zero Res time and time again, and it is because I got a kind of funky home whenever it comes to summertime, in and out of the house, and sometimes whenever you're moving like me, shoes get dragged in, and I needed help with Zero Res coming to clean my home, and they have a big time summer savings happening right now. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $99 and $4.99 per system for air duct cleaning. You don't want to let rising gas prices stop you from having a clean and healthy home. Zero Res is keeping comfort affordable with powerful cleaning at a price families can feel good about. Vacuuming is just not sufficient, and I learned the hard way to maintain the cleanliness and the lifespan of your carpet, period. Do not, let me repeat, do not leave deep cleaning to yourself with DIY dirt-attracting carpet-soaking machines. Visit ZeroResPhoenix.com or call 480-507-2419 and ask for the KDUS special. Spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
The Smashing Pumpkins return.
The Rats in a Cage Tour. 2 unique sets celebrating melancholy at 30 and nearly 4 decades of unruly hits and dark treasures. November 11th, Mortgage Matchup Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. The Smashing Pumpkins. The Rats in a Cage Tour. Live.
And we're live from the living room as Doug eyes up the match day spread. He's reaching for the Buffalo wing. Perfect. Hang on, what's this? Oh, he's gone for a can of Pepsi too. Incredible. What a finish. Sensational combination. Look at the delight on his face. There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a pack of Pepsi Zero Sugar for today's match. It's poetry in motion.
Monument Valley? Check. Grand Canyon? Check. Sedona? Check. Camelback? Check. Think you've seen it all in Arizona? Well, if you haven't been fishing, you haven't seen a thing. From ponds and reservoirs to rivers and lakes, our state has no shortage of ways to cast a line for beginners and pros. And a fishing license is your passport to all of them. Get your license at azgfd.gov and discover a whole new way to see Arizona.
It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert.
While Brissett will be in attendance, it's uncertain how much on-field work he will do. So my read of that is it went from a holdout and it will now become a hold-in. To be honest, him being there and not doing anything is almost more of a distraction. We've seen this. This is the new way players go about getting their contractual demands filled. They don't hold out and not show up, but you're starting to see more players be hold-ins.
Live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Well, the Brendan Sorsby Pro Day, the NFL Supplemental Draft, continues to be the top story in the world of football, and perhaps there is one less potential suitor for Sorsby before his Pro Day has even arrived. Because in a story on ESPN over the weekend, Rich Cimini, the beat reporter who covers the Jets for ESPN, did a full story about Brendan Sorsby and its potential impact on the Jets. And in that story, there was a quote from a source, a person that Cimini describes as close to the situation. And that person doubted that the Jets would be interested, suggesting, quote, they don't want to deal with it, end quote. And I do wonder if there are going to be some teams that don't want to embark on this headache, a potential NFL punishment, the idea that you're probably always a little bit worried about something happening that leads to Sorsby getting suspended this time for good, the giving up a future draft pick for somebody based on, obviously you did your scouting, but one pro day in July. There are going to be some teams that just say, you know what, it's not worth it. Not interested. The Jets have always felt like a team that you immediately put on the short list, right? The Cardinals we've put on that list. The Browns are a team that we've put on the list. The Jets, a team that we've put on the list. And the reason why the Browns and the Jets have always made sense to me is because they have multiple first-round picks. And it's much easier for those teams. The Browns have 2. The Jets have 3 in next year's class. It has always made sense to me that those teams have more risk tolerance. Right? Those two teams can accept the risk of a third-round pick or even perhaps a second-round pick on Sorsby because if it doesn't work out, if he's a bust, if he doesn't show you enough and you wasted a second or you wasted a third, you still have plenty of ammunition, plenty of draft capital to go get your quarterback in what is considered a loaded class in 2027, right? To the Jets, wasting a third-round pick or a second-round pick when you have 3 first-round picks feels like nothing. It feels like a willing risk in search of a franchise quarterback, right? If you're looking for the franchise quarterback that brings you back to relevance And the Jets and Browns have been searching for relevancy for a really long time. Investing a second or a third round pick is a drop in the bucket for what you would give up. You would give up, Jets fans, all 3 of those first round picks. Browns fans, both of those first round picks, if you knew it guaranteed you getting your franchise quarterback. You would trade them all. If you could take those 3 first round picks and you could get the franchise quarterback in return, you would do it in a heartbeat. That is what everybody is searching for. So a second or a third round pick is a drop in the bucket in that pursuit. That's why those teams have always made sense to me. The Cardinals, it's been a little bit more challenging because they would be giving up a premium asset when they don't have an abundance of resources. But again, when you're searching for your franchise quarterback, you have to take on some risks. You have to be willing to roll the dice. You have to be willing to throw the darts at the dartboard. Well, if we are to believe this one report, the Jets may not be as interested, and so you cross a team off the list. You keep the Browns on there. You keep the Cardinals on there. You have to throw a mystery team or 2 in there. And depending on where you turn, you hear stories where they think no one's going to be interested. And then you hear stories where they think, no, someone's going to give up a second or a third to get Sorsby. It is so wide, the range of opinions on all of this.
Yeah, it is crazy to see. And this is uncharted waters we're in, right? Like, this is unprecedented. So to see how one team is going to look at it compared to another, it's going to be dramatically different. 32 teams are going to his pro day. It doesn't seem like the Jets are that interested. That's a big suitor because if you ask me, that was a team that on my list would have been more willing to give up, a higher price tag. So for the Cardinals, maybe that lowers the price a little. It is it feels like one less bidder. I don't see for a team like the Jets, for a team like the Cardinals, why you wouldn't take a little bit of a risk here. And I'm sorry, maybe I'm naive in thinking that. Maybe I'm wrong in thinking that. But this is a guy with all the physical talent in the world. This is a guy who would have been a first-round pick had he come out this year, maybe a top 15 pick, not barring all this gambling stuff. And I don't know how you don't take a risk on him. I know that it's not great. I know that we don't know what the NFL is going to do. But even if it is a year suspension, this isn't a guy you wouldn't be willing to wait a year for and take a little bit of a risk on?
Yeah, I just think, even though you have the reports out there that the Jets probably don't think it's worth the headache, I still don't rule them out. I don't rule out any team that doesn't have their franchise quarterback.
And how can you? It just doesn't feel right to, right? Because if you do rule out any team that doesn't, if you do rule out, any team that doesn't have a franchise quarterback, like let's say you go in there and you rule out the Cardinals. What if they love what they see at his pro day? What if Cardinals were like, we're not interested, but then go to his pro day and get blown away?
Like, are you going to rule out Miami?
No.
Are you going to rule out Cleveland?
No.
Are you going to rule out Indianapolis?
Certainly not. And any team that has just brought in an offensive-minded head coach, right, that it isn't...
I'm sorry, are you going to rule out Minnesota?
I'm sorry. They're going to go up there with Kevin O'Connell. If he likes what he sees, guess what they're doing?
Are you going to rule out New Orleans? Are you going to rule out, Carolina? Anybody where there's a quarterback you're on the fence about. It's not a guarantee.
There's a franchise guy there in Carolina.
You understand the point
I think that's a great example, and obviously joking.
Atlanta, right? Kevin Stefanski, they're sending a contingency.
Correct, yeah. They're sending somebody there. And Carolina's a great example. Like, that's a room, or that's a situation where you have a quarterback who you're on the fence about, who is also entering the last year into his deal, right? Like, they picked up that fifth-year option, see what he can give you. But after that, how willing are you to pay Bryce Young? And if the cheaper option is going to be Brennan Sorsby, why not make that move? Why not see what you have?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not willing to rule anybody out right now for this Sorsby conversation. Not yet. Not this far out from his pro day. We're still a couple of weeks out from the pro day. I'm not willing to rule anybody out in all of this. Now, there may be some teams that after going to the pro day, they sit down, they have the tough conversation, and they say, you know what, it's not worth it. But I don't think anybody has made a determination right now that is still in search of a franchise quarterback that they are out on Brendan Sorsby. So we'll see. We'll see how that all plays out. When we come back, your phone calls, 480-864-1060. We finish up hour number 1 looking back at our weekend winners. How did we do? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Did you have a problem with how the fans were treating Wyndham Clark on Sunday?
Look, I know he's had some ugly behavior before, but still, you're watching him perform at an unbelievably high level. You could tell early that crowd came out there rooting for Scotty to complete the Grand Slam and probably didn't view Wyndham Clark as somebody they wanted to root for. You don't have to root for him, but rooting against in a U.S. Open, thought it was kind of embarrassing.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
Let's be honest, most money talk is boring.
Or worse, terrifying.
That's why we built the Stacky Benjamin Show, the personal finance show that's full of good times, great laughs, and big lessons.
We help you reach your goals faster with real experts with zero judgment. And yes, we record from a basement.
Whether you're paying off debt, building wealth, or just trying to stop hemorrhaging money at the grocery store,
we got you.
Find the Stacky Benjamin Show wherever you get your podcasts.
The greatest money show on earth, now part of the Gamut Podcast Network.
Somber presents You Are the Reason Tour. Fresh from selling out shows all around the world. See Somber live in Glendale. Desert Diamond Arena, October 14th, with special guests Tom Odell and The Help. Get tickets now at sombermusic.com.
This summer at Disneyland, kids rule. Let's go! First, we're going on all the best rides. Like Radiator Springs Racers. Oh, it's Tiana's Bayou Adventure. We want to get soaked. Yeah! We want to do everything. Play Keepy Uppy with Bluey and Bingo. Dance with Mickey and Minnie. Oh, and Darth Vader will be there this summer.
Impressive.
I want to get the biggest scoop of ice cream. We're definitely staying up late for fireworks. Stay up late! Stay up late!
And this summer, kids can visit with a special $50 ticket offer. For a limited time, children ages 3 to 9 can visit both Disneyland Resort theme parks from May 22nd to September 7th for $50 per child with a one-day park hopper ticket. Visit Disneyland.com for details. It's Kids Rule Summer.
At the happiest place on earth.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Wrapping up hour number 1 here, the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you. And we wrap up hour number 1 on a Monday, looking back at our picks on Friday. Our weekend winners.
Do you want me to start with maybe the most heartbreaking of them all?
I mean, I guess.
I had Ivory Coast.
Okay. I had Sweden.
Well, can we talk about the Ivory Coast?
They're up 1-0.
On the brink of an upset that would have changed the landscape of world soccer.
And would have been great for you.
Yes.
Because it would have given you 2 weekend winners.
It would have.
You had the Phillies.
I did have the Phillies.
That worked out well for you.
Yes.
You had Kyle Larson. So there you go.
Christopher Bell.
Well, I was going to get to mine here in a second. I was just going through yours first.
Yeah, so I had Kyle Larson. I had the Ivory Coast. Zach Gallen.
Stinks out loud.
And the Phillies.
It's not great.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. I would actually look into DFAing Zach.
Just 12-15. All right, we're going to talk about everything going on with the Diamondbacks from an injury perspective. Okay, just don't you worry. But by the way, Kyle Larson finished third.
Guess who's taking him next week?
Well, I'm just looking at the list here. 11 laps led. I think it was the second most laps led in the whole thing. So, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
It's what he does. He just leads laps.
By the way, I think we got through all of yours, right? Kyle Larson.
Correct.
Ivory Coast.
Correct.
Zach Gallen. Phillies.
Yes.
You want to go through mine?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I took Christopher Bell. Do you know where Christopher Bell finished?
I don't.
I do. I have it up here.
Okay.
I think this is going to be funnier if you look up where Christopher Bell finished.
Okay. Please tell me, Zach.
Because remember, I've been picking Kyle Larson for weeks now, right? And I decided, you know what, road course, not his thing. I'm going to pivot. I'm going to go away from Kyle for a week. I may be back on the Kyle Larson train. I may be all in, but for the first time in months, I'm going to pick somebody different to win this week.
DNF. Did not finish.
Last 28 laps completed for Christopher Bell out of the race, finished 39th. So the one time I don't take Kyle Larson, who finished third, by the way, so it wouldn't have been a bad selection if I would have picked him. Still would have not had my victory, but would have been at least, better.
I knew I should have taken Jonah Heim.
I pick the guy who finishes in last. I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's killer.
I took Rory. I took Jordan Lawler. And I took Sweden. We're so back.
Sounds like he did great.
0 for 4. I think I don't know, Sweden got blown out. So I don't know what's my worst pick of the week. I got a guy who got hurt. Sweden got blown out. Christopher Bell finished in last. Where did Rory finish?
Rory was in it on Saturday.
Yeah, but that's you got to be in it on Sunday.
Yeah. So let's go do it. Let's go see the.
Rory finished. I'm pulling it up here.
Oh, this is getting bad.
Tied
now.
for 32nd. 6 over.
Ugh.
So I mean, which one was worse?
Yeah, no, Christopher Bell's worse.
You think just because he finished in dead last?
Dead last and did not finish the race. Only completed 28 laps.
I mean, Jordan Lawler got hurt and is on the injured list. I mean,
I'm sorry, I don't want to laugh because Jordan Lawler's our guy.
No, it's our guy.
It's inherently a little funny.
It's just funny that I picked. It's one thing to pick somebody and then they didn't win, right? Oh, okay, you pick Kyle Larson, he finishes in third, right?
Correct,
all right,
yeah.
I don't get a weekend winner, but that's one thing. It's another thing to just crash and burn as miserably as I did this weekend. This is my worst weekend yet.
Yeah, no, it's really bad. It's really bad. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you.
I have to have just a massive Friday because it's my last Friday for a whole week.
Yeah, you're gonna need a big Friday.
I may just take like 6 things on Friday. Just give myself more chances.
I think that's a good idea. But if you go 0 for 6,
well, at least I won't be here on Monday to have to answer for it.
Yeah, that's cheating.
It'll still be bad.
It'll still be bad, but you'll get away with it.
I mean, we only had one winner in the 8 picks that we made. One.
Really, I only picked him to troll you.
Right, and right. You were only doing it to troll me. So if you picked anything else, the segment is called Weekend Winners. You know what I mean, just nothing. Just a bunch of losers. This week.
Listen, again, it has not been our best segment.
Well, I think the content itself is good.
Is great.
The picks
have not been good.
I mean, just to recap, Christopher Bell finished in last. Rory tied for 32nd. Jordan Lawler injured, left Friday's game with an injury. And then Sweden, what was the final score? 4-1 in that game? 5-1 in that game?
I think it was 4-1.
I mean, just... Do you know the social media clip on Instagram where the dog hits the ball into the buckets? You seen this? You seen this on social media?
When he jumps up and they're on the stairs.
Yeah,
right?
on the stairs, and he hits the ball into the bucket and he predicts, division winners and World Series champions and who's going to win the Super Bowl, all that stuff.
Correct.
The dog could do a better job of picking weekend winners than I could right now.
Yeah, you are on a generational run here of bad luck. I don't want to do the taking notes before taking notes, but I mean both got one wrong last week. You want me to give them to you?
Well, I mean, since we're already here,
the D-backs win the next two series. That was you. That one over, done. And the U.S. Open winner will be even or worse. Was mine. Yeah, the course. I'll tell you. Thought the course played a little easy, a little too easy this weekend.
Taking a shot at the USGA.
Think the course played a little too easy for me.
I mean, yeah, Wyndham Clark won at what? 4 under?
4 under.
That's too easy.
That is, yeah. You can't let that happen. And he was 7 under before that.
It was 7 under through Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, you cannot let that happen. That's unacceptable.
Congratulations to Wyndham Clark.
Congratulations to Wyndham Clark.
What is that? Number 2 for him?
I'll tell you.
Major number 2, I believe.
I thought, and he's won, if I believe, at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, I think it's 2 U.S. Opens.
2 U.S. Opens.
I think so.
I think you are correct. 2-time major champion, having won the U.S. Open in both 2023 and 2026.
Congratulations.
The last
to him.
one he won was at Los Angeles Country Club.
So he's won it on both coasts.
That was where I was headed. It doesn't matter what coast you put him in.
Wyndham Clark's got a shot.
He's got a shot to win it. Yeah, wasn't my best picks day. A lot of my guys fell off at the end, which was...
So, yeah, I wasn't going to include that in weekend winners, but
yeah,
wasn't good for the...
It wasn't great for the picks. That was by far my worst. Typically, I get 1 or 2 of the top 5, top 10s every time to, even out the money. I was 0 for 4 this week. It was bad. It was really bad.
In addition to going 1 for 3 or 1 for 4 in
weekend winners.
Weekend winners.
So really, I went 1 for 8.
1 for 8.
And when you do it that way,
it's ugly.
It's really, really ugly. What's the Argentina score?
It's 1-0 in the final 5 minutes of the game.
Wow. It was only Messi's.
Excuse me, it is now 2-0, and you'll be stunned to know who just scored the second goal for Argentina. Shocked when I tell you who just put the ball in the back of the net to make it 2-0.
5 goals.
He does. He has 5 goals. I think it was him. He's the one celebrating.
He also missed the penalty.
He did, so he could have had 6 in his first 2 games. Just incredible. Group J action today in the World Cup. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. We got buy or sell to kick off hour number 2, and we'll do it next. The lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Have you noticed all of a sudden there's a bunch of lawyers saying they're going to fight for you? Yeah, until you read the fine print below them. Hi, I'm Mark Breyer.
And I'm Alexis Breyer. We're the husband and wife law team. If you look closely at that fine print, you'll see not an attorney in this state or not a law firm.
You never trust your future in the hands of someone other than a serious, experienced trial lawyer. And you definitely can't trust someone who won't even tell you who they are.
Do your research after a serious injury. Call the husband and wife law team first.
Chicago, Styx, the Windy Cities Tour. Finally, 2 iconic bands together for the first time. September 1st, Mortgage Matchup Center.
Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Chicago and Styx. All the hits. Your kind of tour.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger, in my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month, and I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
Okay, between soccer practice, piano lessons, and traffic, dinner is basically decided. We're grabbing the $18.99 Big Mac bundle from McDonald's. It comes with 2 delicious Big Macs, 20 crispy chicken McNuggets, and 2 medium fries. So everyone gets a little bit of everything, even the picky eaters. And I get an easy win. For just $18.99, the Big Mac bundle is a total score. Plus, I can order it ahead in the app. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
We're chatting with our guest, always safety first, 811 Megaphone Man.
Call 811 before you dig.
You never stray from your mission of letting homeowners, landscapers, and excavators know you should always call 811 before you dig.
Call 811.
Call for both small and big jobs. And 2 working days in advance?
811.
Any parting words? And I'm guessing they will be...
Call 811 before you dig.
Brought to you by Southwest Gas.
811.
For nearly 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at ChoosePrimavera.com. That's ChoosePrimavera.com.
The KDUS AM 1060 app is brought to you by Law Bear Auto Accident Attorneys. Hurry to lawbear.com.
That's lawbear.com. The bear has your back.
Of the lunch break here, KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan on the other side of the glass. Thanks for hanging out with us here today on the show. We start hour number 2, the hottest takes coming out of the weekend. It's buy or sell. Producer Evan, take it away.
Messi, who?
Yes. So Argentina just beat Austria 2-0. In their second group stage game. And earlier in the game, Messi had a penalty kick that he missed early on when it was still 0-0. And they cut to the crowd, where I believe it was somebody who was a fan of Austria, had painted on their chest, Messi who, with a question mark. Well, Messi proceeded to score 2 goals after that and just had a chance at a hat trick. He had a free kick that he missed by about the same distance he missed the penalty kick by.
Okay.
Like it was that close. As Messi now has the most career World Cup goals in the history of the competition with 18.
Insane.
He has scored 5 goals in the 2 games so far.
Witnessing history every day he comes to the office.
That's right.
The Diamondbacks, their loss this weekend will start a rough stretch for them for the next month.
Yeah, I don't believe they have the pitching. It's been a concern all season long, and now it's even more of a concern with Soroka going down, and they lost Ryan Nelson on Friday. It's just, I don't think they have the reinforcements. I just don't. Maybe Mitch Bratt can come up and be good. Maybe Jose Cabrera has found something, and he can be, I got to see it. And right now, I just don't see them having enough options in this rotation, and I don't think you go out there and you sell the farm to get multiple starters in the building. Unfortunately, this season, I think, is going to be derailed by the fact that they didn't have enough starters and the injuries just piled up.
Ryan Waldschmidt will be called back up to replace Jordan Lawler.
Well, they made Tim Tawa the roster move over the weekend, right? Correct. And it doesn't, you don't get the inclination that if they thought it was going to be a long-term thing, probably would have been Waldschmidt, right?
Yeah, correct.
So because it's Tawa, that makes me think they think it's a short-term thing, and so they just need a short-term fix, and so they don't want to call Waldschmidt back up. See, if you're going to call him back up, it's for good, right?
You would believe so, correct.
And so I don't think they want to play this game of shuttling him back and forth between Reno and the big leagues, Reno, the big leagues. So I think the next time he gets called up, it will be for good if he gets called up again this season. So no, I think Tim Tawa was the move. I think it will still be the move, and Waldschmidt will only be called up next time for good.
The Cardinals will put in a bid for Brendan Sorsby of a 4th or higher.
Yeah, I think right now they should be considered one of the front runners for Brendan Sorsby.
You would have to assume so, right? Like just based on situation.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm so interested. Like this is one of those things that may only happen once of this kind of situation. I am just so interested to see exactly, one, how the NFL is going to handle this, and two, what teams' reactions to that are going to be. I think what they bid on him is going to be a huge tell for, most of the media and most of us what the NFL will end up doing.
Yeah, I mean, we have never really had a situation like this before, right? And so
No.
it's gonna tell us a lot about how the NFL is gonna handle this, how the teams want to handle it. Just a very unique situation that it's hard to really guess as to where teams stand. But I do think the Cardinals are going to be interested.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. I think they're going to be interested. I think they're going to be a huge piece of what happens with Brendan Sorsby. U.S. men's soccer will win 2 knockout round games. Nice.
I like the way the bracket looks right now for them. I do.
I'm assuming they're going to sit most of their guys on Thursday. You think they still win?
Do they still win? Interesting question. I don't know. It doesn't matter. They've already locked up the group. So priority for Pochettino and the entire U.S. soccer team is to go into the knockout stage healthy and with nobody suspended because of yellow card accumulation. And so all the guys on yellows will not play. I think that's almost
guaranteed.
All but a guarantee that anybody that is currently on a yellow in a game that does not matter, the points do not matter for Team USA. They have won their group. It is over. Now, you'd like for them to win all 3 games, but don't read in to the result against Turkey. So get those guys on a yellow card just off the field and make sure you keep everybody else relatively healthy. And so that's what I think the priority is going to be. Right now, it looks like they would play, I think it is Ecuador in the first round, based on they're going to play a third-place team. They're not going to play a team that finished as a runner-up in their group. They are going to play one of the third-place teams. Right now, it looks like it would be Ecuador, I think. But it was Bosnia over the weekend. It's going to move. It's going to be a moving target here over the next couple of days as the second group stage games get completed here at the beginning of this week, and we get into the third group stage games of this group stage portion of the tournament. I like the way the first matchup looks, and then I think it would either be right now Czech or Egypt in the second round of 16. You like their chances there as well. So, yeah, a quarterfinal berth could be on the table for this team. They're playing well enough for you to believe that they can do it, right? So that plus a bracket that looks a little bit more favorable to them, where they would avoid some of the big teams until either the quarterfinals or later. Yeah, you like their chances.
Both American League and National League wild card races will come down to within a game.
Both of them will come down to a game?
Yes. Or a tiebreaker.
Yeah, I tend to think so right now.
Right now in the American League, you have the Astros, Orioles, Rangers, Twins, A's, Blue Jays, all within 2 games of each other. In the National League, which we've gone over a little bit more extensively, you have the Pirates, Diamondbacks, Nationals, Marlins, Padres, Cubs, all within a game and a half.
Yeah, I don't see these teams really separating themselves. There's been enough of the season to just know that these teams are inherently flawed on both sides, and it's going to be close. It may come down to who is able to add that really important piece at the deadline, right? Who's able to add that extra arm in the bullpen? Who's able to go out and get that bat that they're missing to give themselves more offense, right? I mean, it's going to come down to who can win the deadline. But even then, I still don't think these teams, one player is enough to significantly create a gap between all the teams that are going to be in the mix. So, yeah, the wild cards have been incredibly competitive since we put in the third wild card in baseball, and I see no reason right now to think that that's going to change this season.
Merrill Kelly will have a bounce-back start tonight against the Cardinals. He's an 8.27 ERA in the month of June in 3 starts.
I don't know. Sure.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably the safe way to.
Right, I mean,
safe way to go about it.
It's been really bad. It's been really bad in June. So I'll just bet on the side of it being a no.
The Wizards will be a play-in or playoff team in the Eastern Conference next year.
Now, you're saying it's because they re-signed Trae Young today, right?
They did. They re-signed Trae Young, and obviously they have the first pick. Trae Young.
4 for 122, I believe.
Yep, 4 years, $212 million over 4 years.
The first overall pick plus Trae Young. Is that enough to get them? They still have Anthony Davis, right?
They do, yes.
Anthony Davis, Trae Young, the first overall pick. It's not actually a bad group.
No, it's not.
To be a play-in team? Sure. I'll be optimistic here today on the show.
Yes. You love the Wiz have something going over there. I was surprised they went and spent all that money on Trae Young.
Well, could it be a part of a sign-and trade or no? Do we not think
I think we would have known that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like maybe it is, but I just think we would have gotten that report immediately after or with the first report, and we haven't to this point. So I don't think so, but
Yeah, so
I could be wrong.
They're just bringing him back.
So they loved what Trae added to the group, and I can't blame them. Ja Morant will play in the Western Conference next year.
Ja Morant will play in the Western Conference.
It's traded to the West.
Who could use Ja Morant in the West?
The Phoenix Suns.
I'm not doing this again, so no.
I had to do that. Teams that I think could use him in the West.
Could the Lakers use him?
Yeah, the Lakers. I think that the Rockets would be interested.
Oh, that feels way too complicated to try to make that type of trade work.
The Trailblazers.
Ooh, Portland's interesting.
Maybe the Clippers.
Yeah, but they kind of found something last year, didn't they?
Portland or the Clippers?
Portland.
I mean, I guess a little bit. They found something, but don't you think they want to push that envelope?
Right, but
they sit in a very similar place to where the Suns do, so they just feel like another team that could be rumored.
I know that, but Denny Avila was really good last year, right?
Yeah, he was very good.
Do you really want to take the ball out of his hands?
I don't, personally,
So
but
then-
I don't know if anybody in Portland does.
You might
see
be
what
right.
I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I don't think I would do it either. But I think it's a possibility.
Could be. I just wouldn't do it. I think you found something late in the season with or I guess I should say the full season with Avila, that you should just continue to.
And just keep working on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's very fair. And I don't know. It's just one of those things with John Morant. Like, I don't know who's going to want him.
Yeah. So I'll sell the team. I'll sell the team.
He'll be in the East.
He'll be in the East, yeah.
That's all I got for you.
There you go. There you have it. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, will the Diamondbacks be able to weather the injury storm? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert.
While Brissett will be in attendance, it's uncertain how much on-field work he will do. So my read of that is it went from a holdout and it will now become a hold-in. To be honest, him being there and not doing anything is almost more of a distraction. We've seen this. This is the new way players go about getting their contractual demands filled. They don't hold out and not show up, but you're starting to see more players be hold-ins.
Live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial #law.
Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Arizona lawyer will handle Arizona cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Santana, Oneness Tour 2026. The power, the energy. Come celebrate your favorite hits from Woodstock to Supernatural and beyond. With very special guest, the Doobie Brothers. Friday, August 14th, Mortgage Matchup Center. On sale now at livenation.com. Santana and Doobie Brothers, Oneness Tour 2026.
Hey, it's Phil Shaver with HomeSmart, and I want to buy your house. I'm a local investor that buys homes for cash all over Maricopa and Pinell County. I buy inherited homes, nice homes, rental homes, homes that are behind on mortgage payments, and I even buy ugly homes that need fixing. Also, are you looking to get closer to market value for your house? As a licensed realtor, I've been able to buy and sell thousands of homes. Since I'm local, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 480-409-9999. Again, that's 480-409-9999. I don't work for a big corporation or hedge fund, so I can only buy 3 to 5 homes per month. There are no fees involved, and you can pick your own close date. The best part is I buy homes as is, so you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. Again, you can call me directly at 480-409-9999, or you can go to my website, gosoldaz.com. That's gosoldaz.com.
And this is Above the Noise. Wyndham Clark's victory at the U.S. Open was impressive, and it deserves to be viewed as one of the more impressive feats we've seen in sports this year. Shinnecock is designed to break golfers. Clark went wire to wire in one of golf's hardest tests. Add in the brutal greens, punishing rough, the winds that make simple shots feel uncomfortable, and the challenge becomes even more daunting. Then came Sunday. Paired with world number 1 Scottie Scheffler, Clark spent the final round dealing with more than just the golf course. The crowd made its presence throughout the day. He did not have the sharpest stuff, but when there were moments that he needed to play great, he did. Clark never gave the crowd the reaction it wanted. He kept his head down, kept grinding, and found a way to survive without his best game. That's what makes this win so impressive. It wasn't just about talent, it was about his discipline and his toughness. At a U.S. Open, that's how you earn a trophy. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. When money's tight and you're behind, every dollar counts, and Liberty Mutual can help you catch up to make that back nine rally to win, if you will. Liberty Mutual comes up clutch by customizing your car and home insurance to save you money, especially when you bundle. It's insurance built for real people with partners that work hard to help you keep more of what matters most in your pocket. Liberty, Liberty, Liberty. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent.
It's here. King of the Hill and WD-40 brand present the limited edition King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can. Available now exclusively at the Home Depot, in-store and online. How many are you grabbing? One for you, one for your dad, and one for every Hank in your life. Get your King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can today before they're gone. Watch the new season of the Hulu original King of the Hill on July 20th. Streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. Available nationwide for a limited time or while supplies last. Availability varies by location and online.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Did you have a problem with how the fans were treating Wyndham Clark on Sunday?
Look, I know he's had some ugly behavior before, but still, you're watching him perform at an unbelievably high level. You could tell early that crowd came out there rooting for Scotty to complete the Grand Slam and probably didn't view Wyndham Clark as somebody they wanted to root for. You don't have to root for him, but rooting against in a U.S. Open, thought it was kind of embarrassing.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
A pair of injuries to the starting rotation for the Arizona Diamondbacks have put them in a world of hurt. It was before the series on Friday that we learned that Ryan Nelson was going to get placed on the 15-day IL with an elbow injury, and then Michael Soroka left the game early Friday night with what they're calling a strained glute. So he's on the 15-day IL as well, meaning roughly 3 turns through the rotation for Soroka if he is able to come back right away after those 15 days. That is in addition to Corbin Burns' return being set back because of a shoulder injury that he suffered while rehabbing from his Tommy John surgery. It has been a mess for this team pitching-wise. And that doesn't include the fact that of the healthy starters that this team has right now, Zach Gallen is running an ERA north of 6. Merrill Kelly is running an ERA north of 5.5. And Jose Cabrera just made his major league debut yesterday, and he's a part of this rotation. That's the rotation right now for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Eduardo Rodriguez and his 2.45 ERA. Zach Gallen, ERA north of 6, 6.1. Merrill Kelly, ERA of 5.81. Jose Cabrera, who's made 1 start at the big league level, and that's it. 4 healthy starters. Now, perhaps Cole Drake, who they called up, is an opener or gets a turn through the rotation this week. Perhaps Brendan Pfaadt or Mitch Bratt or Dylan Ray, one of the 3 starters that this team has down in Reno that are on the 40-man roster. Maybe one of those guys gets a turn through, but that's what the Diamondbacks have to work with when it comes to their starting rotation. They've got 1 starter that you trust. 1 starter that we all think gives this team a chance to win. Not sustainable. You are not going to play winning baseball. Do you really think the Diamondbacks going into this series against the St. Louis Cardinals, Eduardo Rodriguez starts 1 game of this series, do you trust them to win any of the other 3? Do you trust them to win tonight with Merrill Kelly on the mound? Do you trust them on Wednesday, where right now, according to Fangraphs, their projected starter is Cole Drake? Zach Gallen goes on Thursday. Do you like their chances in any of those games that Eduardo Rodriguez isn't starting? Or does it look like to you that this is going to be a 1-3 trip to St. Louis?
Looks like it's going to be a 1-3 trip to St. Louis. If you're being completely honest about where this team sits and what that looks like, it looks like a 1-3 trip to St. Louis.
You look at the next series against Tampa. It's Jose Cabrera, projected to make his 2nd big league start. It's Merrill Kelly. It's Eduardo Rodriguez. Do you like their chances in any of the games not pitched by Eduardo Rodriguez?
Not at all.
Okay, then you get to a series against San Francisco. Cole Drake, the projected starter next Monday. Zach Gallen, the projected starter next Tuesday. Jose Cabrera, the projected starter next Wednesday. Do you like their chances in any of those games with those starters that I just mentioned?
Not at all.
That's the problem. That's the issue that this team currently has. They don't have two starters that you trust. They don't. So if you wanted them to go out and address their rotation at the deadline, they would need to right now, to actually address the problem, go out and get 4 starters. 4. Because I don't know when Ryan Nelson's coming back. I don't know when Mike Soroka's coming back. So to fix the problem right now, you would need 4. You want to say that one of Nelson and Soroka comes back and is fine? Okay, you need 3 starters. You want to tell me that Merrill Kelly all of a sudden finds it? Okay, now you need 2 starters. You still need multiple starters to fix this rotation. You just do. The answers aren't in-house. Brendan Pfaadt is not an answer this season. Mitch Bratt probably isn't an answer this season. Cole Drake doesn't feel like an answer this season. Jose Cabrera, I don't know what Jose Cabrera is going to be. He may be an answer, but I don't think he's going to solve your problems. And to put your rotation's promises on a rookie who just made his first start yesterday, it feels like you're chasing for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Feels like you're chasing Fantasyland. Those are the injuries that this team faces just on the pitching side of things. That doesn't include Jordan Lawler back on the injured list. That doesn't include still waiting for Carlos Santana and James McCann to come back. That doesn't include the fact that the bottom part of your lineup has not been very good this season. Lourdes Gurriel's hitting .211 for the year. Pavin Smith hitting below 200. Jorge Barroza hitting below 200. Tommy Troy hitting below 240. Adrian Del Castillo hitting below 200. Lou James Groover, since being called up, below 200. Tim Towell below 200 this season. Ildemaro Vargas has come down to earth. He's only hitting 258. You have an offense that has 3 hitters that you trust right now. Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll, and Gabby Moreno. Has 1 pitcher that you trust in the rotation. And a bullpen that's pretty good. That's it. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your 2026 Arizona Diamondbacks. 1 starter we trust, 3 batters we trust, and a pretty good bullpen.
Yeah, and who would have thought that? Right, like coming into the year, you never thought that was really going to be the conversation. And guess what? The starter we trust is the guy we probably trusted the least coming into.
Well, the other thing, too, is that that group, 1 starter you trust, 3 bats you trust, and a bullpen you trust is not going to get you into the postseason.
No, and it never will. It never will. It's just not enough.
So I don't know what the answers are. I don't know if they can weather this storm. Because let me tell you, with Ryan Nelson and Soroka in the rotation, it wasn't that great to begin with.
No.
Here's where they rank starting pitching-wise. 16th in ERA, 18th in WHIP, 6th in walks per 9, 29th in strikeouts per 9, 25th in hits per 9, 24th in home runs per 9. So great, they do a decent job of not walking guys. Their ERA is middle of the road. Their WHIP is middle of the road. They don't strike out guys. They give up hits. They give up home runs. That's with those guys that we just mentioned are on the shelf. That's with them. You think it's going to look better with Ryan Nelson and Soroka? They got to go 3 turns through without these guys. You think it's going to look better over the next couple of weeks?
Not at all.
I said something to producer Evan in the morning meeting today, and I said I wasn't going to say it on the air. But I don't know how you look at all of this and think to yourself, this team's done. This team's not going to be able to stay in this race. This team's not going to be able to get to the All-Star break. This team's not going to be able to get to the trade deadline still within striking distance of the wild card. Not with this pitching staff the way it's currently constructed. Unless something happens, unless Cole Drake all of a sudden gets a start this week and that 7.8 ERA that he's had down in Reno just evaporates, that Mitch Bratt gets called up and he's every bit of the pitching prospect that he is touted to be. That Brendan Pfaadt all of a sudden found something down in Reno and he is called up and delivers quality for this team. Unless all of that happens, I'm sorry, I don't think this team's going to make it to the trade deadline.
We talked about this team and how many things they needed to go right, like how many dart throws they needed to go right. They've hit on a lot of those dart throws. It's still not working.
And it's still not working because they don't have the pitching. The starting pitching. The bullpen's been good. They don't have the pitching.
And if you told me this was going to be the bullpen, man, I just never thought it would be this bad. If you told me the bullpen was going to be this good.
Yeah, and they're still not great. The relief pitching is 16th in ERA.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they're the number one group.
But they're better than what we thought they were going to be.
You never imagined them to be this.
And them being a middle-of-the-road bullpen should be good enough.
Yes.
Nobody outside of Dre Jameson has an ERA north of 3.5 in the bullpen. The highest ERA outside of Dre Jameson is Paul Sewald's 3.18. Kevin Ginkel, 3.03 ERA. Loizaga, 2.86. Juan Murillo, a 3. Taylor Clark, a 2.27. Ryan Thompson, a 2.39. Brandon Garcia, 2.55. And I don't love looking at just ERA, but that's just a quick look at a bullpen that's been relatively good this season. And I read to you the ERAs in the rotation. It's not pretty. And unfortunately, one of the guys with that not pretty ERA in Merrill Kelly, a guy that has been a model of consistency, goes tonight. If there's one guy that I would pick outside of Erod that could find it, I would pick the guy going tonight in Merrill Kelly. But this has been just a awful month for him. And so it's hard to imagine he finds it tonight. But if he does, best thing that this team could have happen to them right now is Merrill Kelly having a return to form tonight.
I don't know if I have any confidence.
No, I'm not saying you do, but you need something, right?
You need something.
If Merrill Kelly gives you a quality start tonight, at least you have something to hang your hat on of, okay, maybe we have 2 starters. Maybe. You're still not totally sold because it's just 1 start, but at least you have something.
Yeah, you would have something a little bit more to hang your hat on.
If he goes out there and the Cardinals are all over him and they score 6 runs in 4 innings, you're going to be like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to win games? That's the question mark you have right now. How is this team going to win games when Eduardo Rodriguez doesn't start? I don't know the answer. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. Also got you the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, it was a busy weekend for the Suns. Is it now just Mark Williams in pick number 47? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
You've heard me talk about Zero Res time and time again, and it is because I got a kind of funky home whenever it comes to summertime. In and out of the house, and sometimes whenever you're moving like me, shoes get dragged in, and I needed help with Zero Res coming to clean my home. And they have a big-time summer savings happening right now. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $99 and $4.99 per system for air duct cleaning. You don't want to let rising gas prices stop you from having a clean and healthy home. Zero Res is keeping comfort affordable with powerful cleaning at a price families can feel good about. Vacuuming is just not sufficient, and I learned the hard way to maintain the cleanliness and the lifespan of your carpet, period. Do not, let me repeat, do not leave deep cleaning to yourself with DIY dirt-attracting carpet-soaking machines. Visit ZeroResPhoenix.com or call 480-507-2419 and ask for the KDUS special. Spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res.
Break the Cycle 25th Anniversary Tour. Featuring Seether. Stained. October 13th, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. With special guests, Hoobastank and Hinder. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Part of the America First Credit Union series.
When I scraped my car in that parking garage, I was worried that it could be a long process to take care of it. Like a landscaper's first day trimming a hedge maze.
I have definitely already been here. Now, was it left, right, or
right, left. Well, maybe I'll cut a path out and find my way back later.
But it wasn't like that. I filed a claim in under 2 minutes on the Geico app, and they handled it from there. It was taken care of almost as quickly as it happened.
It feels good to get help quick. It feels good to Geico.
So, you're ready to propose, huh?
Yeah, man. She's definitely the one.
What are we thinking about the ring? I got my wife's at Hellsberg. I couldn't recommend a better jeweler.
I could use some help with that.
Man, go to Hellsberg. I had no idea how many details you need to consider. Did you know you can get a natural or lab-grown diamond? I didn't. Figure out what she wants. Trust me, they'll make it happen.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
In Arizona, we expect big things. The Grand Canyon, wide open skies. And now there's Jumbo Buck Scratchers from the Arizona Lottery. They're bigger than big. They're jumbo. They've got jumbo prizes up to $1 million, jumbo bonus multipliers, and a jumbo promotion with $2 million in Players Club prizes with a grand prize of $1 million. So go for big, go for jumbo, and play Jumbo Buck Scratchers today. Arizona Lottery. Love the play.
It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert.
While Brissett will be in attendance, it's uncertain how much on-field work he will do. So my read of that is it went from a holdout and it will now become a hold-in. To be honest, him being there and not doing anything is almost more of a distraction. We've seen this. This is the new way players go about getting their contractual demands filled. They don't hold out and not show up, but you're starting to see more players be hold-ins.
Live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Producer Evan, tomorrow night, the NBA draft, night one, round one.
Night one of the NBA draft. Remember when they used to just do it all in one night?
Well, we're probably going to have a Giannis trade between now and then.
You would have to imagine.
Definitely feels like Giannis is going to end up in either Boston or Miami before tomorrow night's draft. Definitely feels like the two teams that are hottest in pursuit of Giannis. And there's been a lot of reporting, Shams saying that they expect a deal to get done before the draft tomorrow. And so framing the draft through the lens of the Phoenix Suns. After a weekend where they bring back Collin Gillespie, they bring back Jordan Goodwin, there now appear to be two outstanding action items right now for this team. One, what are they going to do with Mark Williams? We told you last week, the reports out there, qualifying offer put on Mark Williams. Definitely appears that there's interest in both sides coming to terms on a long-term deal. So that is action item number one. And then with tomorrow night's draft, even though they're not picking tomorrow night, they have the 47th pick. What do they do with the draft? Do they get back into the first round? Do they wiggle their way in? It's the way I phrased it earlier, to a pick in the first round. Do we want them to end up with a first-round pick? And what do they do with the 47th pick? Do they stay there? Do they move up? Do they get into the first round? Those appear to be the two action items still remaining for this team. And I guess if you wanted to add a third thing to the list, it's a question mark of, are they going to trade Grayson Allen? Are they going to trade Royce O'Neal? Right? Those are the three things. Mark Williams, to continue with the trend of continuity. Over the weekend, Gillespie, Goodwin, now Mark Williams. Just bring everybody back that's a free agent. What do you do in the draft? Are you able to take a swing at getting a first-round pick? What do you do if you're not able to do that, picking at 47, moving up in the second round? Do you get a player that can help contribute to the team next season? And then what are you going to do with some of the vets? Or are you actually really going to run this back entirely? That's how I see things for the Phoenix Suns right now going into draft night tomorrow night.
Yeah, and I think that there is going to be a conversation just based on this continuity idea that they've pushed of how honest were they being. And to this point, I don't think they've given you, any of the fan base, any reason to believe they weren't being honest. And this offseason, again, it feels like, hey, they told us what they were going to do, and to this point, they're doing it. And it's all been about continuity. And so, yeah, I don't really know what the plan is. It feels like it's going to be Mark Williams in the 47th pick. all the reports that they wanted a first-round pick, I don't know if that's really in the cards right now with how they've handled this offseason to right now.
Well, it's just, again, we keep going back to, is there going to be a match for them to get a first-round pick, right? They can want to get back into the first round. They can want to make a first-round pick all they want. Are they able to match up with the team? Are they able to link up with the team and get a deal done so that they can pick in the first round? That's always been the roadblock for me, right? Them wanting a first-round pick makes all the sense in the world. That is their ticket. The draft is their ticket to kind of accelerating this process that they're going through because they don't have a ton of resources outside of that, right? They are right now already over the luxury tax, and if they bring back Mark Williams, I believe that would take them over the first apron. So they are limited in what they are able to do in free agency, and I don't think they are a team right now that wants to go out and trade for a superstar because they don't have a ton of assets to do so. So they are a team that understands the draft is our way out, and if you pick in the first round, the higher up the board you draft, the better chance you have of getting somebody who can turn into a superstar, right? That's the idea. So totally get why they would want to pick in the first round. It's just a question of, can they link up with somebody?
Exactly. And I don't know. I don't know the answer to that because I don't know the situation that enough other teams are in. Like, I don't know how willing they are to move back or what they would be willing to do it for, and if the Suns have the assets to get them to move up or back, whichever way they wanted to do.
Yeah. Is there a team that wants to take on Grayson Allen or Royce O'Neal for a first-round pick? Again, I don't know how teams value those two players. And again, it would have to be towards the back end of the first round. I'm thinking, 25 and below, right?
Correct.
It's not going to be any higher than that, and 25 may be a pretty far jump for them to make from 47, because you'd have to think 47 would be involved in any deal that they make, unless they're just getting one for one of these players.
100%. You would have to assume that.
But it doesn't feel like that is something that's coming anytime soon. So it may be a very quiet night for the Suns tomorrow. They might not do anything. They might just sit back, relax, and see how the night progresses. But we saw last year, now it was different because they were picking inside the top 10. They made the trade for Mark Williams.
Yeah.
They were very busy on draft night. They were very busy last year. Will they be busy again? That is the question that remains to be seen. But at the end of the day, if they pick 47, if they just stay in that spot and they pick him, if they pick somebody at 47, they just pick there. The goal is very simple. Get somebody who can help your team. Get somebody who can help this team next season. Get somebody who can be an option for Jordan Ott. Just like you did with Kaman Malawach, just like you did with Rasheer Fleming, go out and get somebody that can be a contributor in some way. Even if it's in a small role, find somebody that can be a contributor. But right now, as we sit here, I'm of the belief that after the weekend that they just had, after what they told us, Mark Williams, draft, and that's mostly it. That's mostly the offseason for the Phoenix Suns. It's going to be relatively quiet. That may disappoint many of you. But that's how I feel this offseason is going to go right now, unless they surprise us with a Grayson Allen or Royce O'Neal trade.
Yeah, and I feel like, at least for the draft coming up, then we're talking about, and we've talked about these things before, the deadline. And now you feel like you're in an urgency to trade either Royce or Grayson Allen, and you would lose leverage. Maybe not get the package you want in return.
Right.
And you would hate to see that.
So we got to draft tomorrow night. We'll keep you updated on the latest when it comes to Giannis getting moved and if the Suns will ultimately get themselves a first-round pick. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, it is all the stories we didn't get to here today on the show. We call them the leftovers, and we get to them next. The Lunch Break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Did you have a problem with how the fans were treating Wyndham Clark on Sunday?
Look, I know he's had some ugly behavior before, but still, you're watching him perform at an unbelievably high level. You could tell early that crowd came out there rooting for Scotty to complete the Grand Slam and probably didn't view Wyndham Clark as somebody they wanted to root for. You don't have to root for him, but rooting against in a U.S. Open, thought it was kind of embarrassing.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
Injured in a car wreck? Law Bear Auto Accident Attorneys will go full grizzly to protect your rights. Shut down the lowball insurance offers and recover every dollar you deserve. Hurry to lawbear.com. That's lawbear.com. The bear has your back. Roar!
Saturday, August 22nd, 8 p.m. The Salt River Grand Ballroom at Talking Stick Resort. The Gene Simmons Band performing your favorite classic hits. Reserve seats on sale now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Hi, I'm the VP of Play at Harrah's Auction Casino, and it's time to make your summer shine with Summer Playfest. Now through Labor Day, live music, weekly winners, and one lucky guest takes home a brand new Jeep Rubicon. With Caesars Rewards, you could win your share of more than $700,000 in cash and prizes. Summer Playfest at Harrah's Auction Casino. Play for all. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 or 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Visit the Caesars Rewards Center for details.
Try the turkey, bacon, and avocado at Port of Subs. Fresh, craveable, and loaded with flavor. Order now at portofsubs.com.
Slice fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
With a Global Credit Card, you earn reward points for every purchase. Use your rewards at checkout at many of your favorite stores. Or use points instead of cash when you shop online. You can even use them to book a flight up to 3 days in advance. New York, Vegas, Albuquerque. From groceries to getaways, redeem your way. Apply for your Global Credit Card now at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
All right, back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan on the other side of the glass. We are wrapping up today's edition of the show, and we do so with all the stories we didn't get to here today. We call them the leftovers. Producer Evan, take it away.
Biggest news of the day here in town. Buc-ee's.
Oh, yeah. Seen a lot of videos on my timeline about the opening of Buc-ee's. I was going to go after the show.
I mean, people were...
They were camped out, though.
Camping out all night long. And so I think that was... It was, maybe for the best that you didn't go, but I will be there at some point this week.
Yeah, I'm trying to go sometime this week as well.
And it looked like people were camping out all night. I saw there was a multiple hour line last night at 11 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
They opened their doors today at 6 a.m. So it was a long one for everybody involved. Yeah. Wyndham Clark won the U.S. Open. It did not have that, but he officially won the U.S. Open this week. And, congratulations to him. He held off Scotty Scheffler. He had a pretty big lead going into Saturday and Sunday. Was able to hold on. Got a little testy there on Sunday, but he held on for the win.
4 under, I believe, was the final score.
Final score, yes, correct.
For Wyndham. Now his second U.S. Open. His second major denied Scotty the ability for the Grand Slam. What's our next major?
Our next major and our last major of the year is the Open Championship.
Open Championship.
Which is maybe the best one outside of the majors. Outside of the Masters.
Where are we this year for the Open Championship?
We are, I'll tell you. I love links golf.
I just thought you, being the golf guy, had that answer committed to memory already.
Royal Brickdale Golf Club.
Okay.
Maryside, England?
I have no idea where that is.
July 16th through the 19th. Oh, it's going to be glorious.
Glorious, he says. So those picks coming next month?
Yes, okay. Those picks coming next month. Doing a little catch up for you on the FIFA World Cup. We missed a bunch of games and action over the weekend. We will start on Friday. The U.S., obviously we were on the air for it, jumped out to a 2-0 lead, held on. They beat Australia 2-0. That allowed them to officially win their group. They will move on to the round of 32. Scotland then played Morocco. Morocco got a 1-0 win. Brazil with a 3-0 victory over Haiti. Paraguay, which led to the U.S. officially winning that group, got a 1-0 win over Turkey. On Saturday was another 4 games. It started with the Netherlands with a domination over your Sweden team.
Thanks.
A 5-1 win for the Netherlands.
Really appreciate that.
Germany with 2 late goals. A goal in the 68th minute and then a goal in the 90th minute to beat Ivory Coast 2-1. And then a 0-0 draw in the Ecuador-Curacao game on Saturday afternoon before Japan took it to Tunisia in a 4-0 game on Saturday night. And then Sunday wrapped up some weekend action. It was Spain in the morning. Lamine Yamal makes his first World Cup start and gets a goal in a 4-0 win. Belgium and Iran.
Yeah, these are the 2 surprise results of the day, the next 2 that you're going to share.
Yeah, with Belgium and Iran with a 0-0 tie. That was no goals there, but some really kind of a crazy game and a disappointment for Belgium. Uruguay and Cape Verde with a 2-2 draw. And then Egypt, after being down 1-0 at halftime, nets 3 in the second half. All within kind of 20 minutes of each other to get a 3-1 win.
Yeah, so right now, if you look at the tops of the group, in Group A, Mexico leading South Korea. They're in the 1-2 spots. Group B, Canada and Switzerland tied at 4 points at the top of that group. Brazil and Morocco both on 4 points, top of Group C, with Scotland right behind them at 3 points. Group D, we mentioned it, the U.S. already have that group locked up with their 6 points, but Australia and Paraguay each have 3 points right behind them. Germany leads Group E with 6 points, the Ivory Coast right behind them with 3. Group F, Netherlands and Japan both on 4 points, Sweden behind them at 3. Egypt leads Group G on 4 points with Iran and Belgium on 2 points right behind them. And right now, Iran has the tiebreaker. Head-to-head is tiebreaker number 1, and then it goes to goal differential. And then it goes to goals for, I believe. Iran has scored 2 goals. Belgium has only scored 1 thus far in this tournament. Spain leads Group H in front of Uruguay and Cape Verde, who both are on 2 points. And then that's it for all the teams that have played, all the groups that have fully played 2 games. Group I, J, K, and L all still are playing through their second group stage contests.
Yeah, and Argentina got that started with a 2-0 win today. Messi scores twice. Then today at 2, right after, an hour after we get off the air, France will take on Iraq. And then Norway will play Senegal. That should be maybe the game of the day here at 5 o'clock. That'll be in East Rutherford over at New York, New Jersey.
Yeah, that's
Stadium.
right. Thank you.
And then Jordan will play Algeria in the nightcap. That's an 8 p.m. start over in the Bay Area arena.
So there you have it. That's what's going on here at the World Cup today. And then tomorrow we'll have Group K and Group L action, and then we will officially be through everybody playing 2 games.
And then you only need 1 more week, really, and then you're in the knockout group.
That's right.
Knockout stage.
And teams that have already qualified for the round of 32. Germany already in the round of 32. The U.S. already in the round of 32. Mexico already in the round of 32. And Argentina, with their win today, have clinched a spot in the round of 32. But Germany, Mexico, and the U.S. all have won their groups already.
Yes, but all of those teams are 2-0, correct?
Germany,
6 points.
Mexico, yes.
Is there anybody that has 6 points
And that
outside
isn't?
of those?
No. 6 points, Mexico, the U.S. on 6 points, Germany on 6 points, Argentina on 6 points, and that's it.
It's a huge game for Croatia here coming up.
Yeah. After losing to England?
Yes.
Yeah, they're going to have to win each of their next 2 to get to 6 points.
Yeah, they are.
If they-
Ghana with a huge win
Over Panama. Yeah.
over Panama that gave them 3 points. They're tied with England.
If Croatia wins their next 2, they'll be in.
100%. 6 points get you in.
6 points get you in.
I think 4 points probably gets you in.
It probably does too, but play for the 6 points, you know?
You play for the 6. I think 4 points gets you in. But, having 0 after 1, you don't feel great.
No, you don't feel great.
You do not feel great. Moving on in the world of sports. We did, by the way, if you want it, I could give you, we did get a updated All-Star voting today.
Save that.
Okay, we'll do that
I
tomorrow.
don't think we have enough time to go through it all.
Okay. This is Bleacher Report story ranking NFL trade targets that are still available.
My favorite.
Number 10. It's the New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara.
What am I-
projected trade value, a conditional 6th-round pick.
What do you want me to do with this? You want me to say, do I think they're going to get traded or what?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. I think that's best.
I'm not prepared for this. Hold on.
A little buy or sell of whether
Okay.
this player is going to get traded.
Okay.
Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson. Arizona Cardinals edge rusher Josh Sweat. Edge rusher from the Pittsburgh Steelers Alex Highsmith. San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Brandon Ayuk. You don't think he's going to get traded?
No, I think they're just going to cut him.
Buffalo Bills wide receiver Joshua Palmer. I never even thought of that one. Las Vegas Raiders edge rusher Max Crosby. Wow. Chicago Bears tight end Cole Kmet. New England Patriots wide receiver Keyshawn Butte. New York Giants edge rusher Kayvon Thibodeau. According to Chris, not a single trade will be made in the NFL.
None of those guys get moved.
Not a single trade made.
Nope.
Max Crosby will not play for the Raiders
He's playing for the Raiders next year.
by the end of the year.
That's not what the question was. These were trade candidates before the season starts, right?
I think they were just trade candidates.
Oh, that's different. That's different. I thought you meant like they're going to get traded between now and the beginning of the season. Because I don't think any of those guys go between now and the beginning of the season.
No, I think those were just...
Oh, never mind. Crosby, Thibodeau, Kamara. I mean, there's some candidates on there. Yeah.
Josh Sweat.
Yes. I just thought you meant like between now and the beginning of the season.
No.
Because then, none of those.
I'll give you till the deadline.
Oh, then yeah, there's some names on there though.
Okay. Well, that's all. That's kind of all we got.
My-
I was gonna start another story, but the music's starting in like right now.
Right now. So don't do that. Don't start another story.
You want me to fit one in?
No, I'm quite all right. I'm good. I'm good. It's going to do it for us here on the Monday edition of the show. Jim Rome, he's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Monday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.